You're listening to RTL SA.
And being a Thursday, I do throw open the floor and the opportunity for you to ask me questions and any questions you want to ask me. And I will give you my best possible informed answer, or alternatively, just my straight out opinion, which is sometimes quite an interesting one as well, even if I say so myself. Yeah, so I've taken some voice notes and I've taken some questions via WhatsApp as well, and let's get into it. Charmaine sent me a voice note with three questions, so let's listen to that.
Hey Knowles, hey everybody. Arsenal Thursday. I know I'm like really pushing my luck, like trying to get my three questions in for this Thursday as well. I can't not. It's my favorite day of the week. Anyway, here goes. Question one: what makes you feel loved? Question two: have you ever cooked bacon naked? And question three: have you ever had a crush on somebody for longer than a year?
Love question two. Okay, question number one. What was that? What makes you feel loved? Quite honestly, just two things: time and creative gestures. Yeah, definitely time. You give me your time. I feel like time is so precious and so important to people. And if you give me your time, I feel like you really are investing in me and the relationship as well. When I talk about creative gestures, I like things, for example, like a birthday present or something like that. I like it when people go above and beyond and not necessarily go and spend a lot of money, but get creative and think about what they're doing. And throughout a relationship, that's also very important. So, you know, a stupid little message on the mirror in the morning, or something like that. They sound like so simple, but those things mean so much to me. And when somebody is doing things like that for me, I feel really valued and loved. So I hope that answers your question regarding that. Then you asked me, have I ever cooked bacon naked? I am not even ashamed to say that I have. Definitely. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a naked chef, especially in the morning. Why not cook bacon before you get dressed? Have you ever had a crush on someone for more than a year? Yes, I have. But here's the thing. Okay. There's a very big difference between a crush and actually wanting to be in a relationship with someone, I think. This is just my opinion. Just remember. So it's very possible for you to have a crush for a very long time, but not necessarily need to act upon that said crush. Because sometimes that crush is just an attraction to a person or a fascination with a person rather than a wanting to be in a relationship with that person. So you might actually crush on somebody for a long time, a very long time. I suppose, I mean, I'm not going to mention names, but there are a couple of people that I would say I've got a crush on, not wanting to be in a relationship with them, but find them absolutely fascinating and stunning and whatever. So yeah, I think it's very possible to have a crush for longer than a year, for more than a year. It just depends on what you feel about that crush. If you want something more from that person, well then I suppose after a year you should already have taken action upon that. You can't just sit the whole time wishing and hoping that you could be with the person. If that person is not making the move, maybe you should do that. I don't know. I hope that answers your question. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit off base with your question because maybe I misinterpreted what you're saying. But yeah, so crushes are very real and can last for years and just depends on the context. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Then I got some questions from Cheryl. What is the most bizarre thing that you did at a party or function? All right, I'm very ashamed to say this, but I took off my clothes, which is very bizarre for me because I'm actually rather reserved. But I was at a function, and yeah, things got out of hand, and yeah, I ended up taking off my kit. Yeah, it's not one of my finest moments, but it was something that I will never forget, and I think most of the people that were at this function will not forget that either. Yes, that was cool. Next question: what do you think of people who are loud and in your face? Are they happy or are they sad? Well, now that is a tough question to answer, because very often people who are loud and in your face are compensating for something, and they're putting on a facade or a show or a image of themselves that's not really themselves. So does that make them happy or sad? I don't know. It's really a tough question to answer. Very most often when people put on a mask or an act or a facade or something like that, they are generally not happy with something within. So you got to be very careful, because loud in your face people might just be loud and in your face people. That might be their character, might be who they are. But sometimes people do put on a mask and are loud and in your face because they are hiding insecurities. So it's very difficult. Ask them. Ask them. I mean, don't go say to them, "Why are you loud and in my face?" But ask them, "Are you okay? Are you happy? How are you feeling? Anything you want to talk about?" Be there for them. I don't know. But it's difficult to say whether they're happy or sad, because sometimes it just is who they are. And I know people that are just like that. They are the happiest people in the world, but they're loud in your face. And then also know people that are loud in your face that are really hiding deep insecurities. So it's a tough one to answer. What is the one thing people misunderstand about you and you about them? Oh, sure. I think a lot of people misunderstand the complexity of how I think. And I'm a very deep, complex thinker. And I wouldn't say an overthinker, but I definitely look at a situation very differently to what people might think I do. Um, I've learned over the years to say less and observe more, and and sort of process in my mind, and not necessarily throw it in their face or whatever, but just within knowing or understanding them a little bit better and acting according to that rather than addressing it. I don't know if this makes any sense to you whatsoever, but I think that confuses a lot of people. Well, I'm sure a lot of people don't understand that about me, but I'm a very complex thinker. And in almost every situation that I'm in and every interaction, I I kind of listen and observe in a very deep kind of way. It's just ingrained in me. What I don't understand about other people, what I misunderstand about other people, is often what they are trying to say. I sometimes tend to answer their question for them without understanding the question that they are actually asking. So, yeah, it's something I am working on a daily basis. What are dreams? If you dream of someone in your dream, do I think that they're dreaming of you too? No, I don't. Not at all. Dreams are yours. They happen with you. I don't believe in this cosmic connection that if I'm dreaming of someone that they're dreaming of me too. No, I don't believe that. I don't think that's possible. There's certainly no science to back that up whatsoever. So I have heard people refer to it as a real possibility or a real probability, but I haven't come across anything that suggests or supports it. So yeah, I don't think you're dreaming of each other at the same time. Voice note from Lauren.
Good morning, it's Ask Noel. I only have one question about patience for you today. In a relationship, how important is patience? And how much patience is too much in a relationship?
Excellent question, Lauren. Absolutely excellent question. And I believe that patience is the gold currency in a relationship. It is absolutely. This could be a very deep and in depth answer if I let it be. But patience is absolutely paramount in a relationship. Where there is more than one person in a room, there is going to be a difference of opinion or something like that. And you've got to be really patient with other people's opinions and the way they are. How much is too much? Well, now that's a conversation where we bring boundaries into it. And how much are you willing to compromise? And how much are you willing to deal with? And when do you lose your patience? And how do you lose your patience with this person is also this is a loaded question. This question can be spoken about from many different angles. But to answer your question in the simplest possible way, yes, patience is, like I said, the gold currency in a relationship. You definitely need to be patient with your partner. How much? Well, that really depends on your boundaries that you have set. And if you haven't set any boundaries, you probably should set boundaries. The flip side is that your partner also needs to be patient with you and accept your boundaries and accept the way that you see things as well. Paramount, absolutely paramount in a relationship. Patience. And then here we go. I left it for last today again. Bob.
Good morning, RTL SA listeners, viewers, and the steady for now number of Bob the Legend fan club members. So today is Ask Noel Thursday.
Here we go.
Noel,
Yes.
the fairer sex, 'tis a wonderful thing to behold and spend time with. However, why are they such hard work? Bob the Legend out.
Bobbles. Sure. You know, I've actually had this question before on the show. I don't know. Maybe it was you that asked it. Maybe I just didn't answer it properly last time. I don't know. Bob, I'm going to say this because obviously I work with a lot of people and I talk to a lot of people about their relationships. And I'm no expert. By no means am I an expert when it comes to relationships or whatever. But I think it is a bit harsh to ask the question, why is the fairer sex such hard work? Because the flip side to that is they will be asking the question, why are men such hard work? I promise you that women do not think that men are a walk in the park. By no means. Why are women hard work? Well, I'll tell you, quite simply, is because they are different to men in all forms, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. They are very different to men, and vice versa. Men are very different to women. And it comes back down to this, is patience. You know, Lauren asked in the previous question, you got to be patient with the opposite sex, man. You got to like really be patient and try be empathetic. Try understand them. And we all know that women go through certain things, and for example, if it's that time of the month, it does affect their mood. And sometimes I just feel men are not understanding enough when it comes to it. And it's probably because for a lot of men, and I'm not going to say specifically for most men, I'm going to not generalize you at all, but there are a certain amount of men in the world that feel it's like a taboo subject to talk about or understand. Me personally, I like to ask questions. And, if I'm in a relationship with someone, I will like, how are you feeling? What's your mood like? What can I do? And sort of try and understand them a lot better when they're going through certain things. And it's not just that time of the month. It's every day. You've got to try and understand your partner of the opposite sex every day, because We are very different. Men and women are very different. And there's so much material that you can go look at on the internet about red glasses and blue glasses, and you and I, Bob, have spoken about the men's brain and the woman's brain, and the nothing box and all of that. I mean, you can go into all of that, and that is really the answer to your question. Men and women are just very different. You perceive them to be difficult and hard work, as do they perceive us to be difficult and hard work. But patience and understanding is the key to actually getting through this. And maybe a couple of beers and a tequila as well. Just saying. That's where we're going to leave it for today. We'll be back at it next week, Thursday, as well. And I hope I gave your questions the justified answers that you were hoping for.
You're listening to RTL SA.